Fiscal TV presents Table Talk with Stacy Mason.
Hi, everybody. We're here today to talk about tickets. So we're not talking about speeding tickets, Laura. We're not talking about parking tickets, Chinaza. We're talking about Fiscal tickets. So tickets are an essential tool we use here at Fiscal, right, in an effort to provide the highest level of customer service to our customers. But we also understand that there needs to be some transparency, and a huge part of that is understanding the ticket process. So we wanted to provide that information to all of our customers, so you guys all have a better understanding of the process. So to help do this, I've invited a couple of my friends, a couple from the Fiscal Service Center and a couple from our Client Relations Services, our relation coordinators. So Chinaza, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us what part you play in the ticketing process at FSC.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacy. Hello, everybody. My name is Chinaza. I work with David in Fiscal L1 support. So I've been working at Fiscal for about a year now. I celebrated my 1-year anniversary September 3rd, 2020. And what I do in terms of the ticketing process is I help triage the tickets. I assist in login support. And we're basically, David and I are the first line of contact in regards to when you call into the Fiscal Service Center or when you send us an email, as well as I help support in terms of the purchasing module, resolving simple tickets.
Great, thanks, Chinaza. What about you, David? Can you introduce yourself and how long you've worked at Fiscal and where you are in the ticketing process?
Yes, thank you, Stacy. So, like Shinaza said, I'm also with the FSC L1 support, level 1 creation of tickets, triaging of tickets, and working on and resolving tickets. I have been with Fiscal now a little over 3 years. Started out initially as a student assistant, but I've been full-time for a little over 2 years. So that's a little bit about myself and what I do with tickets in Fiscal.
So I got to know, both of you guys. So now that we are working remote, has the ticket process changed at all? Like, how are you guys supporting the tickets that coming in? Because you used to sit in the service center, and now you guys are, working from home. So has there been any impact whatsoever to the customer?
No, there's no impact to the customer. So when we initially started working from home, we didn't have the Amazon Connect system that we have now. So basically with integration of Amazon Connect, it's basically like we're working in the service center, right? So we intake the calls, we process the tickets, and we send them to the appropriate modules. So it's basically like we are at the service desk, but we're just in the comfort of our own homes.
And of course, that's a plug for Amazon too, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and next we have Laura Hill. She's one of our relations coordinators, and I have the pleasure of working with her as well every day. So Laura, tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been at Fiscal and where you are in the ticketing process. And also, what are some of the departments that you support? Because a lot of the times people don't see your face, they just see your voice or hear your voice.
Thank you, Stacy. Like I said, Laura Hill, and I have been with Fiscal for a little over a year. And in the ticket process, I'm here to assist assigned departments to me in ticket updates, escalations, or any concerns that they have if a ticket is stalled. Some of the departments I support are Department of Social Services, Department of Healthcare Services. Let's see, what are some of the other ones? Department of Managed Healthcare. So a lot of the HHS departments.
Yeah, I bet they keep you busy.
They do.
Yeah, definitely. And last but certainly not least, Maggie Carmona. She as well is a relations coordinator. Welcome, Maggie. Want to hear a little bit about you, like, how long have you been at Fiscal? What's your role in the ticketing process? And then what are some of the departments that you support?
Yep, so thank you. And I've been with Fiscal since February. And I am very much like Laura. I help departments when they need help with escalations, just ticket updates, any kind of questions that they might have with the ticket. If it's kind of, additional questions that might come up after the fact, I definitely help with them. Some of the departments that I help are Department of State Hospitals, Department of Developmental Services, Parks, Office of Traffic Safety. So those are just a few of the departments that I assist. I work with Laura as well with a lot of the HHS departments.
Yes, I know you guys have lots of departments that you work with, but those are the big ones that you guys work with probably on a daily, if not weekly basis. So I wanted to do this table talk because I wanted to get the players together. So we know that our team, the Fiscal Service Center and relations coordinators, we're on the front line. And so I hear all the time from other departments just calling and asking about tickets. And I thought, let's get everybody together and just talk about it. And I'd love to hear from Laura and Maggie, like, what are you hearing from departments when it comes to the ticketing process? And then also Chinaza and David, if you could just educate us on the back end, because you guys are on the front line as well, because you guys are the ones that are getting the phone calls. And so I thought between the five of us, if we can just talk about what we see that's happening regarding to the ticket process and take it as an educational segment to everybody, that maybe it'll make the ticketing process a little more not so scary, not so frustrating. So with that, I want to know, inquiring minds want to know, how are tickets created? And I really am curious, are they created any differently now that we're remote versus when we were in the office? Chinaza, can you enlighten us on that?
Yeah, no problem. So tickets are created in one of three ways. So a customer can call into the Fiscal Service Center and we document the information that they provide and we create a ticket within the self-service portal. The second way is end users can email in to the Fiscal Service Center and we basically just copy that email, place it in self-service and create a ticket that way. The third way is through the end user can actually create their own ticket to the self-service portal. And we have a team of people that actually look at the self-service portal on a regular basis. So they watch the queue and they're able to easily assign tickets to the various modules.
So is there like the quickest way? Like if I'm an end user and I just need something done as soon as possible, of those three ways to create a ticket, is one quicker than the other?
Definitely. So the last recommendation, creating the ticket through a self-service portal is the fastest way, because the user puts in all their information. So we're not having to. So us at the Fiscal Service Center, we're not having to pull emails or record what's written in terms of the conversation we have with the end users. The information is already there, and it just needs to be routed to the appropriate module. So that's what I would recommend for all end users to do.
Okay, well that's good to know. I mean, but so my understanding is they go through do the portal and that's the quickest way, but they still get the same level of customer service, whatever way they do it. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good to know. Good to know. Maggie, Laura, do you guys ever hear anything from departments? Do they have a lot of questions about how to create tickets, or is that pretty much they all know how to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of my departments naturally send emails. That's how they've been doing it. So when they're setting it up, Chinaza, in the self-service, what kinds of things are available to them when they're looking at the portal?
Definitely. So essentially, when you send an email, we use that same information in the email and use that to create the ticket. So instead of sending the email, they can just put in the information that they would put in the email in the self-service portal. So you want to include your BU, you want to include who the caller is that's reporting the issue, you want to include a description of the issue itself, and if there's any pertinent details that will give us a clue on where to send a ticket to. That's something that's definitely helpful so that the ticket could be routed appropriately to the appropriate module, and that will accelerate the processing time.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? If the service portal makes it quicker than the others?
That's a great information. I did have a question on resetting user passwords. I know that's a item that comes up a lot, and I see a lot of tickets for it, and have departments ask about resetting passwords. Is it better to call in to get those passwords reset versus trying to have a ticket opened up for that via either an email or the service portal?
So in regards to the tickets, so when you are doing a password reset, I think it's first of all important for departments or end users to check with to see if their account is disabled. First of all, because we can't at the L1 support level, we can't reset passwords if the account is disabled. So what I would recommend is for end users to check with their departmental authorities or designees to ensure that the account is enabled first. And then if it is enabled, then they can actually do it themselves, reset the password themselves. So if they go through the forgot my password link on the password field, it'll send them a code and they can use that code to reset their password. So that's something that we're definitely trying to promote within the Fiscal Service Center is for end users to be self-sufficient. So we definitely recommend that they go through the forgot my password if they need to reset their password. But if all of that fails, then they're more than welcome to call, us at the Fiscal Service Center, and we'll be happy to help them out.
Thanks, Chinaza, for that answer. I've used that reset through the I forgot my password, and it does work, and it's very quick.
So I had a question. Say that they've submitted a case through an email already, but now they want to use the self-service portal. Are those previous cases that they've emailed or called in available to them, or how are they able to access those in the self-service portal?
Sure. So I can take this question. As far as any previous tickets, the self-service portal, any previous tickets that user has submitted or has been a part of. So if they've put themselves on the contact list for a case because maybe a different user reported it, but they were also involved, they can see all previous tickets in the server, pick it up by ticket number if they have that record. And so that's one way. And so the self-service portal has access to all of their tickets that are current and or resolved or closed.
That's a good question.
And when they're looking in that ticket, what type of information is available to them? Like what that would be useful for them as they're waiting for resolution?
Sure. So they'll see quite a lot of information. They'll see, for example, the analyst working on the ticket and any notes that the analyst puts in. For example, status updates, like the analyst might say they're through QA1 or FT1 to see if they can duplicate the issue. They'll essentially be able to see everything that the analyst writes down they're doing in the ticket. So that's a really good way to see the status of your ticket and like the last time it was worked upon and stuff like that.
Hey, David or Chinaza, do you guys, let's do a plug for the FSC. What's their phone number?
Yes, so the phone number is 855-347-2250, and they can call that anytime, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30.
And will they get a live person?
Yes, during those times they will get a live person.
Is there ever a time where they don't get a live person and like it goes to a voicemail?
So occasionally, yes, if the whole team is in a meeting or a department-wide meeting, we will put it on where they can just go to voicemail. But usually those voicemails are returned within an hour is, I think, the longest it would wait.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Anybody else? And you have any questions before we move on to some other questions?
Yeah, I did. So if they decide they don't want to call in and they don't want to email, how do they access their self-service portal?
Sure. So accessing the self-service portal is actually very easy. One of the best ways to do it is logging into PeopleSoft, and then you'll see multiple tiles. One of them will say Classic Home. That's what most people click on. But you'll also see there's a tile that says ServiceNow. So if you just click on that, that'll take you directly to ServiceNow, and you'll already be logged in because it is a single sign-on. Or if you just go to the ServiceNow link on the FSC page, you will just log in with the same credentials you use for PeopleSoft.
Well, I think this has been a really good conversation, a really good discussion. I think it's been much needed. Like I said, I hear from departments all the time about the ticketing process, and I know that FSC, you guys are like one of the hardest working teams out there because you always are on the phones, you're always responding to emails. Sometimes you're dealing with really agitated end users that are just frustrated, and you guys have a tough job, but you guys are good at it, and we appreciate you very much for everything that you do, and your entire FSC team is amazing. Laura, Maggie, is there anything you guys want to add or bring up in regards to your experiences from departments or anything like that?
No, I just want to say thank you to the FSC team. I have always had great experiences when it comes to this is a super urgent matter. We need to take care of this right away. They've always jumped in, worked together to make sure that the end user is knows where they're at in the process, which I think is super helpful. Like, hey, we have it, we're working on it, following up, reaching out, saying, hey, can we do a call real quick? We have a couple questions. Very open about the process overall. And so thank you.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Maggie? Anything?
No? I would second that. I mean, the whole FSC team, all the SMEs, you know, they're always helpful when we're reaching out, asking for more information and just trying to get questions answered. So I appreciate everything they do every day.
Well, and that's what I love, quite frankly, about Fiscal is that, you know, we're a new system, you know, and well, we're not that new. We've been in it, you know, for like 8 years now. We've been onboarding. I think we've been even around longer than that, you know, in the infancy stages, but we are constantly evolving, you know, and I think it's really awesome when we get a phone call and a department has maybe a unique challenge that they're experiencing. And I love that we get everybody, all the parties, all the teams involved. And, you know, this is no exaggeration. We literally lock ourselves in a room and try to problem solve and come up with a solution for that department. And, you know, that's the synergy that I really love about Fiscal. So thank you, Chinaza, David, Laura, Maggie, for joining me today on the Table Talk. I hope end users, I hope you guys have received some helpful information, some more insight, you know, on how to open your tickets and facilitate your tickets. And please always reach out to your relation coordinators. They're there to help you and support you. And we're only as successful as you guys are as you transact in the system. So on behalf of Fiscal and Fiscal TV, happy holidays and Happy New Year.